Just one more fire resistance potion. I'm so addicted to these things. I wonder why they added magma creams into the game, but didn't make a way for you to get them in vanilla. It just seems really unusual. Oh well. Oh yeah. Who knows what that's doing to my cholesterol. Now, what's next on my list of things to do? What is this? You should have read the wiki. Slime ball and blaze powder? Let's have a look at this. Slime ball and blaze powder makes a magma cream. Why didn't I think of that? Hello everybody, welcome back to Minecraft The Journey. With me, BugmanCX, I'm here with my magma creams. I should have known, right? I should have read the wiki properly. You can craft them. Oh well, never mind, we're always learning. Here we are in Minecraft Beta 1.9 pre-release 2 with the Cauldron functionality enabled by way of a specific mod which unlocks this particular area of code that was never actually made available to players during Beta 1.9's pre-release era. But here we are, testing it out, and I've been learning a lot in between episodes, figuring out the Cauldron system and understanding this whole brewing process a whole lot more. And so in today's episode, I thought we could revisit some of this, discover some new effects, some new potion combinations, and some more interesting details about the Cauldron functionality that never made its way properly into this game. But first, I'd better get off this Cauldron thing because I think it's burning through my shoes. I wanted to take a closer look at how the Cauldron data gets stored in the game, and this is done through tile entities. A tile entity is essentially a block that needs to store complex data. For example, a chest because it contains an inventory, or a furnace because it also contains an inventory, but also extra data like how long has an item been smelting, and so on. Cauldron store this data in the same way, and if we look inside of the game's region files, we can actually find out quite a bit. So let's jump over to a creative world where we have a little bit more flexibility to explore this. In this creative world, I'm running a couple of different mods. First, the mod to activate the Cauldron functionality within the game, and also too many items to help me find all of the different ingredients that I might need relatively quickly. But first, here in front of me, I have just this basic Cauldron. And if I look at the data for this in NBT Explorer, it tells me a few things. First, we can see that this block is a tile entity, and some extra data is stored here about this block. First, it's the ID, which distinguishes what this is, and in this case, it's a cauldron. There's the X, Y, and Z coordinates telling us where in the world it's located, and we also see these two extra values, liquid data and liquid level. Liquid level tells us how full the cauldron is, either 0 for empty or filled to levels 1, 2, or 3. And liquid data is a 16-bit integer. In other words, it's a number ranging from 0 to 32,768. The game arrives at this number by plugging values through a formula, so each time you add different ingredients to the cauldron, you'll get a new number. Depending on what that number is, it'll determine the color of the liquid, the potion effects to apply, and the type of potion that you'll get, such as mundane, thick, and other potion types that we've seen before. And since all of this data is stored in the game's region files, I can extract the data about this cauldron in near real time and overlay it on screen to see what's going on. As you can see here, we have a liquid data of 0 and a liquid level of 0, and that's because this cauldron is empty. But if I fill it with water, we can see that the liquid level has now changed to 3, and of course I can also take water out of the cauldron and drop that level back to 0. But by taking a new bucket and filling it up again, let's get it back to level 3. If I add ingredients to the cauldron, we'll also be able to change the value, the liquid data value, and as I said, that'll determine different things about this particular liquid and the potion that it'll produce. So if I just pop this in here, we get this color and a liquid data value of 16,384. But if I add more ingredients now, you'll see that things are changing each time. With each new ingredient that goes in, we get a different value, although Netherwort doesn't always go in. Netherwort's a special one. I haven't quite worked out exactly when that works, but let's pop in some other ingredients and we get different values, more different values, resulting in different colors and different effects and so on. And of course, as we know, if I now scoop that out, I'll get this particular potion, which is a thick potion, speed 2, instant health, 2 fire resistance, and hunger on this particular potion. And even though the liquid data value is capable of storing values from 0 to 32,768, the game is a bit more limited than that. Sugar gives a liquid data value of 1. Spider Eye gives you 1184. A gas tier gives 2048. But these are all the low numbers. If you put in blaze powder, you get 16,384. Magma cream gives you 16,450. And a fermented spider eye gives you 16,896. I've been doing a lot of experimentation here to try and discover how this cauldron works. I haven't spent time reading the game's code or trying to dig into the formula too much, but I do find this method of trial and error a bit more satisfying. And what I have learned about how the cauldron ingredients are added together are that the game takes the liquid data value for the item added and then adds the value of the next item that you add. So for example, if we put sugar in, we can see a liquid data value of 1 because sugar always gives that liquid data value of 1. And if we're to add a spider eye to the mix, that's 1184 plus 1 is 1185. And a gas tier is 2048, so if we add that to the cauldron, we get a total of 3233. And what's interesting is that the liquid data value can't exceed 32,768. So what happens if we start adding the ingredients which have much higher liquid data values? For example, the blaze powder, which is 16,384. Well, let's see, 16,384 plus 3,233 is 19,617. That sounds about right to me. So what happens if we add a magma cream, which is 16,450? That would take us way over the limit, but let's see what happens. 19,683. So I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe the game reached that 32,000 limit and then did some other maths to work out this new value. Let's add a fermented spider eye to the mix and see what happens there. Remember, that's 16,896 is the value of this. This gives us 20,195. So I can't say I really understand exactly what's going on here. But when you start to subtract liquid from the cauldron, it starts to get more interesting. Let's scoop out 1 potion from the cauldron, and that should give us a liquid level of 2. If we take our water bucket now and top up the cauldron, what do we get? We get 17,473. So really, I have no idea what's going on here. I could even try it again if I like. I'm not sure exactly what happens beyond this point. Looks like the liquid data is the same, and in here somewhere should be a water bucket, and I can now top up the cauldron again. Liquid data value has stayed the same, so there seems to be a limit, maybe a top-up limit of just 1 top-up per cauldron brew. I can't be sure. Let's take another look at potion combinations. Given that there are 32,768 liquid data values for potions, are there really that many potion combinations? In theory, yes. Each liquid data value results in a unique potion combination of effects, color, and type. But because of the limitation on the number of ingredients, the combinations of the ingredients, and the effects, you can end up with different crafting recipes that lead to different liquid data value numbers, but still have the same combination of effects. But it's only possible to craft 5,339 different potions within the game using this system. It's difficult to craft clean potions, and sometimes it can get very complicated just to find the effect that you're looking for. And the recipes can get complicated too. You can put lots and lots and lots of ingredients into a cauldron. Let's take instant health. Instant health is craftable by just a simple gas tier, but there's more than one level of instant health. There's instant health 2 and instant health 3. So what if I want to brew up a potion with instant health 3? Well, it's not just a matter of adding more gas tiers or anything simple like that. To get an instant health 3 potion, we're going to have to mix up a bunch of other potion ingredients. And by adding more ingredients, this changes the recipe and therefore changes the outcome of my potion. So this could get good or bad. For example, here's one recipe: sugar, followed by a gas tier, followed by spider eye, followed by fermented spider eye, followed by netherwort, followed by another fermented spider eye, gives me instant health 3, but with poison. So that one's not ideal. Or how about this one, which is spider eye, followed by fermented spider eye, netherwort, gas tier, and a magma cream. So this one gives me instant health 3 combined with fire resistance. Not bad, But what if I want a clean potion without any side effects, good or bad? It is possible to find some recipes that will lead you to a clean potion, but it doesn't work for all of them. There are a couple of different recipes that do it for Instant Health 3, and here's one. Sugar, followed by blaze powder, netherwort, and then a ghast tear gives us Instant Health 3 on its own. So that's one way of getting Instant Health 3, but not all potions are able to be brewed in this clean manner. We know that the liquid data value determines the effects, but there are other attributes of the potion too, like the type. For example, we've seen that if you take water out of a cauldron, you'll get a mundane potion, and there are other types as well that we've seen on various different potions we've been working with. In fact, there are 32 different potion types that you can get in the game, all determined by the liquid data value, and I thought just for fun, we would try and speed read them. So here we go. Acrid, artless, awkward, bland, bulky, bungling, buttered, charming, clear, cordial, dashing, debonair, diffuse, elegant, fancy, flat, foul, gross, harsh, milky, mundane, odorless, potent, rank, refined, smooth, sparkling, stinky, suave, thick, thin, uninteresting. Someone's been busy. In each of these chests here, I've put a potion for each of the status effects within the game with its strength and its various different durations. And I didn't realize quite how many status effects there were in this version of the game, and there are more here that we need to play around with and figure out what they do, more than we got a chance to explore in the last episode. And I've been sorting out these potions like this. With speed, for example, you have speed 1, speed 2, and speed 3, and you have durations of 3 minutes, 8 minutes, and 13 minutes respectively. But with some potions, like speed 3, it's just not possible to brew up a clean potion in the game. You can't get a recipe for that. So with this one, I've got speed 3 and hunger for each of these and so on. And that's the case for quite a lot of these all the way down the line. I've also learned a few other interesting things too. With haste, for example, we've got haste 1, haste 2, and haste 3. But with haste 1, we've got it for 3 minutes, 8 minutes, and this should be 13 minutes, but it's not possible to brew up a potion for haste 3, 13 minutes. And so I put a blaze rod wherever there's a potion in the game at that level, but it's not possible to obtain it through the cauldron. Down here as well, we've got some other interesting things. With regeneration, we can't brew this through the cauldron at all. Regeneration is only possible to get when you eat a golden apple, and that's why this chest is just full of blaze rods. So I'm going to have a look at some of these status effects now and play around with them and see what they all do. And what better place to start out than right here with haste. I didn't even know this was in this version of the game, but it is. So let's take a haste 1 potion and just drink that thing down. All right. I'm really keen to see what a difference this makes. So let's see. We've got a big wall of stone right here and my diamond pick. Let's go. Oh, that does feel faster. Oh, it's been a little while since I've dug like this, but it does seem faster. Okay. Let's see what the difference is with haste 3. Now this haste 3 potion is combined with speed 2, but I don't really think that'll make a difference. Let's just see what happens anyway. All right, pick in hand. Oh my gosh, look how fast my pickaxe is moving. Is it meant to look like that? I don't know, but if I have to mine out some big areas of stone, this potion is going to make a huge difference. Wow! Jump boost is another one that I'm really intrigued about. Now this one comes in 2 varieties, 3 minutes and 8 minutes with speed and haste. So we'll just take the regular plain Jane jump boost and drink that down. And I've set up a little bit of an obstacle course here. Okay, so we've got 1 block high, boing, okay. This one should be 1.5 blocks high. Can we clear this? Yeah, we sure can. The question is, can we clear 2 meters? No, we can't. We definitely can't, and if we can't clear that, then we surely can't clear that. Let's just run back around to the front here. I want to have a look at this in F5 mode, just so we can see the jump for ourselves. Whoop. Okay, yeah, okay. Whoop. All right, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, well, it's not hugely useful, but it is doing something. And I do love how jump boost is represented by this little rabbit here, complete with glowing red eyes. Oh boy. Here we go. Nausea. Did you know that nausea is actually referred to as confusion in the game code? Yeah, something interesting. But here we have nausea for 1 minute 30, 4 minutes or 6 minutes 30. Can you imagine nausea for 6.5 minutes? I don't think so. I think we'll take this nice short one. Okay, are you ready for this? I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Oh, the world is getting wobbly. Okay. Oh, it's not pleasant, is it? Okay, let's go for a walk. Oh, I feel like I've had a really rough night out, and I just need to fall over and go to sleep on this street corner. And the nausea status effect, I love that. Well, I think that's definitely enough of that. Here we have water breathing. Let's have a look here. We have 3 minutes, 8 minutes, and 13 minutes. Let's take 13 minutes. Why not? Drink that down and everything feels the same. We do have an ocean out here. Let's have a look at the status effect. This is a little fish in the ocean, which is quite nice. But let's see what happens if we now just go underneath the ocean and explore for a bit. We've got our usual oxygen bubbles. We can't really see very much. We can see that these squid seem to be quite stuck here down at the bottom of the ocean like they always do. Stupid squid. But so far, I'm not losing any oxygen bubbles, so I presume that I'll just keep a full set of oxygen until I run out of water breathing in 12.5 minutes' time. That's a lot of free breathing underwater. This is a great way to explore the bottom of the ocean. I can't say it's very interesting down here, though. And since we have this effect, why not combine it with night vision and see what that gives us? If we just swallow down the night vision, presumably here in the daytime, everything will look the same. We've got a little bit of speed as well. Let's jump back in the water and see if it looks any different. No, unfortunately, night vision doesn't do diddly squat down here. That's a real shame. But it should give us proper vision in the nighttime. So let's take this other potion here for 8 minutes of night vision. I'm going to park myself up on the hill over here somewhere and get a nice view of the sunset and see what a difference this status effect makes. The sun's now disappeared and the moon's out, but we can still see quite a lot, and I think that just has to do with the game's new brightness settings. So what I'm going to do is go into the video settings and put the game down to moody so that we get a more natural light setting. There we go, you can see a lot less now. Let's swallow this night vision potion. Night vision. I'm really disappointed. It does absolutely nothing. Maybe something's wrong with this status effect? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm really disappointed. I wanted to go caving and everything. For this final status effect, I've come over here to multiplayer mode because this one is invisibility, and I figure the best way to test this out is to have the camera see what another player would see. So let's see what happens if I drink up this invisibility potion. You can still see me. Hello. Well, again, this is really disappointing. Over on my end, I'm showing that I'm invisible, although I'm completely visible. Looks like some of these status effects have got some bugs, and I'm really disappointed because I wanted to play with burying you in obsidian, and I wanted to play bows and arrows without you knowing what was going on, but looks like I can't have my fun. I even wanted to play fishing rods. Oh. Well, if we can't have any fun with the status effects, why not have a look at the cauldron colors? I think this is one of the most underrated features in this version, and I'm really sad that the cauldron colors didn't make their way into the main game when this idea of cauldron brewing was abandoned. But we can still have a bit of a play around with these. I wanted to see what would happen if we modified the liquid data values of the cauldron outside of the game to see if we could do anything predictable with the color combinations or anything like that. So I created this grid here. This is 32 by 32 cauldrons, and the liquid data value in each of the cauldrons steps by 32 each time. So the first one here is water, so it's 0, 32, 64, 96, 128, and so on, all the way down to the other corner here, which is 32,736. And I'm just going to perch myself up here on top of this glass block here so we can get a good look at the entire thing. And as you can see, it makes this amazing looking gradient. And so I thought to myself, I wonder what it would look like if we didn't have any cauldrons at all. And this is what it looks like. Doesn't it look amazing? This is just a texture pack where I've removed the cauldron texture, and that forces the game to draw the liquid in the cauldron to the full size of the block. So it all looks connected and beautiful. And then I got thinking, if we can get a gradient like this, I wonder what we could do if we made this even bigger. And this is where things started to get a little bit out of hand. This is 32,000 cauldrons, 32,760, I think, to be precise, because 32,768 isn't quite exactly divisible. So it's 181 by 181. And each cauldron here is a liquid data value in a sequence of 1. So the very first one over here is a liquid data value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, all the way down to 32,760. And you can see some distinct patterns here. You can definitely see that there are some major stripes and then some minor stripes, but everything is very grid-like. So I'm not really sure exactly what the underlying pattern here is, but there are a few things that are noticeable. I started noticing some 8-bit patterns, and you probably can too if you have a look at this pattern here. Over here on the left, the very first block here, imagine this is liquid data value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And what we have here is a repeating pattern of blue, green, purple, yellowy, orange, purple, yellowy, orange, blue, green, purple, yellowy, orange, purple, yellowy, orange, and this extends for, as far as I can tell, basically the entire duration of this color palette. So maybe there's some sort of mathematical formula which determines this gradient, and in terms of sequential numbers, things are out of sequence. Maybe it was done this way to make sure that the potion colors that come out of the brewing system are a bit more randomized, but you can definitely tell there are subtle differences between each of the colors as you move along. If you look very closely, you can see, even though it's hard to tell as they keep moving like lava does, but you can tell that there are differences between each of the colors as you move. So I thought, well, what if I just write some code that rearranges all of these bits and gives us a more sequential output? And so I tried it. And this is the end result. I think it looks amazing, but I'm not sure it's as gradient-like as I was going for. As you can see, some of the blues and purples and greens are still not grouped together. So there must be some kind of magical formula there to get the consistent gradient, but I just don't know exactly what it is. Either way, I'm pretty happy with the results, and if you're a member of my Discord, I'll leave a world download available for these worlds, so feel free to drop in there and check them out. And don't forget that if you want to run them, you'll need Beta 1.9 pre-release 2 and the Cauldron mod installed, because that's the only way to make the cauldrons appear. And a huge shout out to Slim Jim over on the Minecraft Discontinued Features wiki, because Slim Jim created the Beta 1.9 pre-release 2 potion calculator, and I wouldn't have been able to make this episode without this utility. It's amazing. You can basically select the ingredients that you have, or the effects that you want, or choose by the data value of the potion. You can do all sorts of things with this tool, and it's simply amazing. So I've left links to the Minecraft Discontinued Features wiki and this tool in the description box below. And we're finally back home in the Journey world, so I want to say thank you all for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this deep dive into the old school cauldron mechanics. If you'd like to support me, you can click on the Patreon links down in the description below, or if you just want to donate and support that way, you can click the thanks icon below this video. But until the next episode, thank you to all my wonderful patrons for supporting me, and I will see all of you in the next one. Until then, this has been BugmanCX. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Bye-bye!